Hey guys, this is Miss Mosley. This week we are going to be talking about financial literacy, which is ways of using money, saving money, how to spend money, and things like that. We are going to be following a story with two characters named Abby and Brett, and each day we're going to hear one piece of their story, and that's going to help us with our lessons. So today's story is called The Ladder to Success. And the first part of our story is just going to create the setting. And then the second part of our story will be the piece that's part of our lesson. So follow along with me as I read, and we are going to get started. Abby and Brett live in a wonderful country called Monia. It is a magical land where the forest is lush, green, and beautiful. Within the forest is a tall, lumbering pine tree. The tree has been there for over 100 years. It has stood tall against wind, rain, snow, and ice. One day, Abby and Brett were walking among the trees and heard a soft moan. They followed the sound to what seemed to be the tallest pine tree in the forest. All of a sudden, the forest became perfectly quiet. Not a sound could be heard. Abby and Brett became very frightened. They heard the moan again. It seemed to be coming from the pine tree. Looking up, they noticed a small branch that looked as if a strong wind had caused the branch to puncture the tree. They carefully pulled the branch out and immediately heard a sigh of relief. Abby and Brett held their breath because they didn't know who or what had made that sound. As they began to back away, a voice came from the tree. It was a kind voice. "Hello, children. I want to say thank you for removing that irritating twig. You are very kind. What are your names?" "I'm Abby, and this is my brother Brett. Who are you?" "I'm the oldest tree in the forest. Some think I am the wisest. They call me Barkley of Wood Forest. Your kindness will go unnoticed. Please let me help you in any way I can at any time. I have helped many of my friends learn about spending and saving, borrowing and lending. Saving for the hard winter is an important skill when living in the forest. I stay green all year long and have become an expert on anything that is green, including money." Abby and Brett thanked Barkley and continued through the forest on their way home. The children couldn't believe what had just happened. It was a huge surprise to realize that they had discovered a wise old tree right in the middle of their forest adventure. The adventure was about to begin. Okay, so this next part is the actual story for our lesson today. We're going to hear the beginning of Abby and Brett's adventure and how they plan on making money. So this is called The Ladder to Success. Abby and Brett were excited about the critter carnival that was coming to the wooded forest. It was finally Saturday morning, and this was the big day. Abby and her brother Brett had been waiting for this day for weeks. The children were excited to see so many choices. Some booths sold goods like handmade crafts, while others provided services like games to play. Other booths had delicious food for sale. That is the kind of booth Abby and Brett would have. Abby and Brett jumped out of the bed right away. There was so much to do before they could leave for the carnival. This brother and sister had decided to make homemade ice cream to sell at the carnival. They had discovered that no one else would be selling ice cream. For this reason, the children hoped they would have the popular product that would have them going home with a full money box. They would sell strawberry ice cream with fresh strawberries on top. The waffle cones were already made, and all that was left for them to do was mix the ingredients for the ice cream, freeze it, and they would be off to the carnival. Abby and Brett wanted to have a trampoline with safety nets of their very own. They decided beforehand they were going to have to generate an income if they ever wanted to get a trampoline. They would need to be paid for the work they did. So here, the word income is meaning the money that they're making for the product that they're selling. So income is the money that they are making and gathering in their bank account. Everything was set. The ice cream mixture was ready. Now they only had to freeze it. That is when Abby and Brett began to think, how will we take a freezer to the carnival? It's too heavy. especially when it is full of ice cream?" Abby asked. "We need some advice," said Brett. "Who would know something about freezing?" asked Abby. "I know," said Brett. "It freezes in the forest every winter. Maybe Barkley, that wise old pine tree, would know." Brett and Abby headed to the forest and found Barkley sound asleep. "Hey, Barkley, wake up! Abby and I have a problem, and we need your help." Oh, yes," Barkley answered sleepily. "How do you freeze ice cream without putting it in a freezer?" asked the children. "That's easy. My mom used to make homemade ice cream. Put the container in the middle of your ice cream maker bucket. Put rock salt around your container and turn the crank. That's the hard part. Before long, it will be frozen. Now here's the big question," asked Barkley. "Why are you making ice cream?" "Barkley, we need to make money to buy a trampoline. We need an income. The more ice cream we sell, the more money we will make. The more money we make, the higher our income becomes. Before long, we'll be able to afford a trampoline," Brett explained. "I'm very proud of what you have done so far," praised Barkley. "You already have the capital needed, like buckets, serving spoons, and containers. You also have the human capital needed because you have watched your parents and understand how to make your product. You have a plan for how and where to sell your ice cream. So here, guys, the term human capital is the things that they have as the people making the ice cream, as the humans. They've watched their parents, they understand how to make their product, making their ice cream, and they devised a plan on how and where they're going to sell their ice cream. So they have this really good plan, which is their human capital. I have a secret for you. You are lucky enough to live in a country that believes in free enterprise system," Barkley said quite seriously. "The more you know, the more your income will increase. You need training to get ahead. Think about getting more education at college or university. Now you are learning about having your own business. As you get older, you may decide that you like being an entrepreneur and start your own business. Later, you might decide to take business classes. Some people study how to run a business in college for 5 years and get an MBA degree. That means Master of Business Administration. You will never forget about hard work. The Creamy Creations Company works hard to make the best ice cream they can possibly make. The more people who buy their ice cream, the more money they make. The Creamy Creations Company would tell you to work hard, learn as much as you can about running a business, and honest in creativity," added Barkley. "Good luck, kids. I hope your work pays off and you get your trampoline." Abby and Brett waved goodbye to Barkley and ran home to freeze their ice cream. Okay, guys, that's the end of our Ladder to Success story. So in the story today, we talked about income and how income is the money that you make when you are selling a product. Okay, so income is very, very important. That's how we live, with our income. We learned about human capital, and we learned about free enterprise system, and how the different education that you have determines the different type of job that you have. The more education, the better the job you have. So now, after this story, we are going to do activities on income and education, deciding what type of job we have. So that's what we're going to move on to next. I look forward to our story tomorrow. We will have a story every day this week, and it will be about the next steps that Brett and Abby take. Bye, guys.